And not to try to put it in such a simple context, but this isn't an hour-long TV show. Things take time, and sometimes with our incidents, especially lately, we don't necessarily get the cooperation from witnesses, victims. We really need the community's support. We're not going to close cases without help from witnesses and victims' cooperation, but don't be frustrated with that. We don't want to make these cases last longer than is absolutely necessary, but also we don't want to arrest somebody who's not guilty of a crime. We have to cover all of our bases and make sure that we have enough probable cause to suspect that somebody actually committed the crime. And then there's a whole different standard to actually convict them of the crime. So, we don't want to jump into it too quick. We want to cover every part of that investigation as best we can and develop as much information we can. DNA, different sources of DNA have different levels of probative value. If you go to the door handle of City Hall, there's no way we're going to single out a single person's DNA. There are going to be mixture profiles. There's going to be so much there. So we have to consider what could be the source of that DNA. Could it be somebody, if we find it on a blouse, could it be the person who washed or folded that blouse? Those are the things that we have to deal with. It's not only does DNA tell us it tells us who the person is, but it doesn't tell us why it's there. So it takes a little bit of follow-up information. In this case, there wasn't DNA found anywhere else other than the blouse of Mary Teresa Simpson. We think that holds value. If we can find out who that person is, at least we could rule them out or consider them, a suspect to try to work toward a resolution. But DNA isn't just it's not the cure-all. It's not the absolute, the one thing that tells you what they did. It's just it's another tool in the toolbox, and we have to use as much of that as we can.